What's up guys, Steel Arms here with Samurai Markets. Today I want to teach you guys how to analyze a stock. This by no means is financial advice, and I'm just trying to educate you guys on how to perform technical analysis for beginners and intermediate traders. If you're more advanced, you probably have your own strategy, but you're more than welcome to watch this video. Before we go over the live examples of stock analysis, I want to cover some key points. This is my strategy on how I perform technical analysis. So first, I want to go over market structure, then I'll go over key levels. In separate videos, I'll go more in depth on market structure and key levels, but this is, we want to get a small understanding of what these are before we hop on the chart. So when discussing market structure, you want to ask yourself a couple main questions. How is the price trending? Is it going down? Then it'll be marked by lower lows and lower highs. If it's going up, it'll be marked by higher lows and higher highs. If it's consolidating, it'll be marked by sideways price action. We are not here to trade parabolic price action. We want to see structure, either lower lows, lower highs, or higher lows and higher highs. We want to see these clear structure. And then the next question you want to ask yourself is, where is price relative to the chart? Is it at support? Is it at resistance? Is it breaking out? Is it breaking down? Right? These are very key questions to keep in mind when performing technical analysis and looking for your entries and exits. Last but not least, make sure that you understand that higher time frame determines the larger trend. If we're uptrending in a weekly time frame, and if we're downtrending on the 15-minute time frame, obviously the higher time frame will be the larger trend, which will be the weekly time frame, and so we'd be in an uptrend in the larger time frame, right? So keep that in mind. Don't get caught up in small time frames. Make sure your levels are on higher time frames. And then, the next point here is key levels. When looking for key levels, look for obvious swing highs and swing lows, right? Either daily, weekly, right? Higher time frames the best. And look for consolidation levels, right? Or supply and demand zones that you're looking for. You want to look for obvious levels, right? Obvious levels or zones. Again, higher time frame, you would utilize daily levels, weekly levels, monthly levels for your, obvious swing highs, swing lows, consolidation levels or zones. Your intraday levels, you could use these for possible take profit zones, and small entries would be your 1 hour and 15-minute levels, which you would utilize to take entries. So now let's hop straight into the chart. So I'm going to chart 3 different stocks for you guys, and then we're basically going to break down what I'm trying to look for here. So here, this is ES, right? This is the futures market. The first question I'm asking myself here, what is the market structure? Is it going up or down? So clearly it's going down here, as we can see, and it'll be marked by lower highs, right? Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? This was a breakout of structure but couldn't push higher and proceeded to create a new low here. But now we can identify clear structure here. So our clear structure will be marked by this downtrend line, right? Price is, approaching this downtrend line. We also have this support here that price could bounce at, right? That price bounced at here. Let's fix this a little bit better, right? So we see that price is currently trading in this down channel, right? Now, where's price, relative to the chart? That's what we got to ask ourselves, right? Where's price relative to the chart? Price bounced off support and is approaching resistance, right? So now we know that price is from midway from support to heading towards resistance here. Now, I don't totally utilize downtrend and uptrend lines. It's just a way for me to visualize what price is doing. My main point here is to just understand what's the guidance of price here. The main thing I use here is key levels, right? So now we're going to discuss key levels. What are our obvious swing highs and swing lows, right? This is a daily time frame. So our obvious swing lows and swing highs, right? The most obvious swing high here is this key level here. We can drop it down a little bit more to cover these levels here, get a little bit more touches, but nevertheless, we could consider this as a zone as well. But that high here, or just these lows down here, right? These highs over here will be a very good level. And then we look at our obvious swing low, right? Our obvious swing low is down here. Now price is in this range here now. This is a range we could trade at. Price could push higher to these levels, get rejected and come down to this level, or completely break out and push higher. And then now we can slightly go a little lower time frame and understand, what did price just do? Price here broke out of this zone here, right? Broke out of this nice consolidation zone here a little earlier on this area here and started proceeding to push higher. Now, we could look for possible areas where price could retest. Where are different zones and key levels that price could retest? Some obvious levels will be where price hasn't retested yet. So for example, this level over here is where price hasn't retested, right? This 40.73 level. Let's fix this here a little bit. But this level here is that somewhere price hasn't retested and could for sure push up higher in towards this zone, maybe reject at it, maybe break through it. Doesn't matter. We don't know that yet. We're just trying to figure out where could price head, what are different main key levels that we're watching. Another thing that could happen here that we could be preparing for is that this zone here that price broke out of, right? This daily 4-hour zone, right, that price broke out of can come and get retested and push higher, right? So now we're creating different scenarios for price to play out at, and we'll be prepared for different scenarios, right? By understanding if price comes to this zone and retests and bounces, we could push higher or we could break lower back in towards this zone here, right? So here we properly identified where price is relative to the chart, what the market structure looks like, and what we're waiting on. Right now, based on this, there's no trade to be taken because there's no structure, there's no clear structure. Structure already broke out, right? So now what we have to wait on is for further structure to be made, for price to either retest, for price to break out of, just some clear structure to be traded, right? This is just you're buying at highs here. If you're buying here, your stop loss should be down here, right? Just technicals alone, your stop loss would be down here, which would offer you a horrible risk to reward. We want to be buying at areas of value, such as our, resistance turning support or support turning resistance here. So we want to wait for a little bit more price action to develop before we place a trade here. Another zone price could push to is this little consolidation area where price ended up breaking down out of. So this area could be a smaller intraday level that we could be watching here. So 1 hour, 15-minute levels that we could be watching and price could be pushing to. But overall, this is the main setup that the setup that I'm watching here is waiting for price to either pull back or either consolidate here or form any type of structure for me to play that break or retest or whatever your strategy is. Today, we're not going to be discussing strategy. We're just going to be discussing how to analyze the stock. But that's the main thing I'm looking for here on the futures market. Next up here, we have Boeing, right? Let's ask ourselves the same questions. What is the market structure here? Is it going up, down, or consolidating? Right now, all I see is a sideways action in price. Price is currently consolidating. Now we go on to the next question. What's our key levels? What's our obvious swing highs and swing lows? Our obvious swing high seems to be this level right here, right? Price, hasn't been able to break out of this area here. I would more so consider this a zone, right? Because price was able to reject at this area again, right? A couple times, like multiple times, matter of fact, rejected multiple times at this level. And, the more times the level gets tested, the weaker it becomes. So this could be potentially good for a breakout. Price could hit a higher low structure and could push higher for a breakout towards the upside. Now, where's our obvious swing lows? Our swing lows could be this level over here, and we could mark that as a zone here as well, right? We can mark that as a zone here because when price came into this area, it bounced. When it came to that area again, it bounced here as well, but that would be the obvious key level for a swing low. There are different areas where price could go to as well. There's the area here as well. There's, this zone here as well. And there's a gap fill territory from this level to this level, right? So if price enters this gap fill territory, price can push higher and fill the gap. But now we understand that where is price relative to our chart, right? We understand that price is at resistance here. It could reject and we could play the downside, or it could break out and we could play the upside. So we now understand where the market structure is, where the price is relative to the chart, and how we could utilize this. Now, the main work has been done. Now it's up to your strategy. If you're a breakout trader, you can play the breakout. If you're a supply and demand trader, you could take short at supply, or if it breaks out of your supply, you can play the breakout here as well. There's many different ways to trade a strategy here, right? Price is at an area of value. It's at your resistance, right? So you can take a really nice entry with low risk and high reward trades here, right? Price hasn't already broken out like you did on futures. It's near area of value that you could possibly potentially take your trades on. In another video, we'll discuss more on entries and looking for possible trade setups. But now we just in this video, I just want to teach you guys how to analyze it. So here, the full analysis has been done here, right? Now we're just waiting for price to react to this zone here. Either it could break out or break down. Next up here, we have Tesla, right? So again, let's ask ourselves the similar questions. What's the market structure here like, right? Is it pushing down? Is it pushing up? Is it pushing sideways, right? It's more so sideways here, right? I'm not seeing any form of large trends here, right? There was a little bit of trend here by lower lows and lower highs, but the bigger picture here is that price is still moving sideways here. There's no clear defined trend, right? So now let's mark our key levels so we can understand where price is relative to the chart. Here we see that price is bouncing off this level here, right? Not exactly the level, so I'm going to consider that a zone here, right? But obviously a break below this level, we could play downside. Now, what's our upside level, right? What's our obvious swing high? Our obvious swing high would be that level right there, right? This high right here. And again, I'd more so consider that a zone here because that's where price has been rejecting at, right? Every time price approaches this zone, it gets rejected and drops from that level. So now we understood that price bounced off this support and it's pushing towards our resistance zone. Now we can look for, since it's in the midway, we still see some structure here on the daily time frame. We see a smaller consolidation action here. We also see that price ended up breaking out of this structure here. So this downtrend structure marked by lower highs and lower lows, right? It broke out of this lower high, signifying a shift in structure. Now we see that it still hasn't taken out of this smaller swing high. So let's go on the intraday time frame to look for possible trade entries, right? Possible trade entry will be a break of this swing high here, right? We also have this swing low here, right? So now we understand where price is relative to the chart on an intraday time frame, right? So our targets could be either this high, right? This swing high here, or completely this entire zone here. So whenever price approaches this zone, you can take your profit if you're playing the upside, and then you can flip short, or you can possibly play the breakout, right? It all depends on your strategy here, right? So here, what I'm going to be looking for is a break above this swing high, right? Whatever your strategy may be, but you have to design your own system for entries and exits. I'll discuss that in a later video, but for now, we're just understanding market structure and how to analyze the stock here. So a break above this 740 level can signify a higher push up towards upper levels, and we see that price is clearing structure here as well by creating a higher low here and higher high, right? So we could expect a push towards the upside. That's really it. That's all you have to do to analyze a stock. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing crazy. There's tons of different strategies out there, but I think this is the most basic, most simple one, especially if you're a new trader. I think it's a very helpful video for a lot of traders out there. So make sure you guys watch this video again. If you have any questions, please comment in the comment section. I'll make sure to read all of it. And also subscribe and leave a like. That'll help a lot. If you guys want to check out our Twitters, it'll be posted in our bio, right, at SamuraiMarkets and at SteelArm LLC. I'll post those links in the bio and make sure you guys go check this out. I appreciate everyone for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.